Iron Man 2 blasts into theaters across the country today after earning $100 million in its international debut last weekend. Our Julie Chen spoke with Robert Downey Jr., who returns in the starring role as the comic book hero. Julie is in L.A. Good to see you, Julie.
Good to hear you and see you, Harry. Well, things could not be going better these days for Robert Downey Jr. The actor brings a swagger and confidence to his portrayal of super-rich playboy Tony Stark and his alter ego, Iron Man. With Iron Man 2, Downey continues his remarkable comeback. When you were doing this role, what would be the first thing that would go through your head when you would wake up in the morning and say, today I get to be Tony Stark?
I would say, yeah, it's good to be the king, and also heavy is the head that wears the crown, because we were expanding the scope of the story we were telling, and I felt personally responsible for kind of delivering on that promise.
When Iron Man first lifted off in 2008, it made a whopping $585 million worldwide. That success launched Robert Downey Jr. into the rarefied air of Hollywood A-listers. A sequel was inevitable.
We returned to kind of the heart of the matter with Tony, which is he has a very fragile existence.
Fragile because the brilliant and talented Stark is also bent on self-destruction, drowning his troubles in alcohol and feeding his inflated ego.
Mr. Stark displays textbook narcissism. Agreed?
The parallels to Downey's own struggles with addiction are unavoidable. From 1996 to 2001, the star was in and out of rehab and spent nearly a year in prison. No movie studio would hire the talented but tortured actor.
I think life is really messy and really kind of ironic, and some of it's just silly beyond karma. So I don't really understand much about it, but I certainly don't take it all that seriously.
Amazingly, he battled back, and now at 45, the two-time Oscar nominee is one of the most bankable stars in the business. His other blockbuster franchise, Sherlock Holmes, earned more than $500 million worldwide. The sequel shoots later this year.
Robert, yeah, nice.
The secret to his sobriety? Downey's wife of 5 years, Susan, who serves as executive producer of Iron Man 2.
You have given your wife, Susan, credit for making you the man that you are today. What is it about her that has made you who you are?
We're really well matched, and she actually has more of a secret identity than most superheroes, in that she's very kind of stoic and business-like on the outside, and yet I get to see a side of her that is really reserved for our private times, and we're just super close.
What's the best piece of advice she's ever given you?
Shut up.
Do you ever regret not taking any of her advice, and what would that have been?
Same piece. We have really good therapeutic tools that we use, things that we do to stay current with each other and to really practice listening and stuff, you know.
Like what?
Like, this is a good one. If you're with your partner and you're driving somewhere that takes more than 10 or 15 minutes, we have a thing where either one of us can say to the other one, go. And that means you're supposed to start just venting and saying whatever comes up. Trying not to crosstalk too much, because if my vent is all about her character defects, then she's going to spend her vent defending herself. But rather, if we just talk about ourselves in a general way, or saying that we understand each other's point of view, or even if we don't entirely, it's very helpful.
I might have to try that one. Now, I asked Downey if he took home any of those cool Iron Man suits after filming had ended, and he said that Jon Favreau, the director, who's also in the film, gave him a helmet. But the house is under his wife's jurisdiction, so she gets to decide where it will be displayed. I can tell by that laugh, Harry, that happens in your house.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to be in charge, and it
decides.
better not be me. And that whole therapy thing, it sounded like some of our staff meetings. Now, if there was an unavoidable sequel for Iron Man, will there be an Iron Man 3?
Well, Downey says if indeed there is one, he would definitely suit up for it. But he's got a lot of other films in development right now. He's doing the sequel to Sherlock Holmes in London. Yeah. He's also about to shoot a movie called Gravity. It's 3D and takes place on a remote space station. And he also has a comedy called Due Date. It's out later this year, and in it he plays an expectant father racing to make it home for the birth of his baby. So, excellent. Harry, his career is in high gear.
Big time. Julie, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Good to be with you, Harry.
All right.
A lot happens early.